So it's been coming up to a year that Tenaga President and CEO Amir Hamzah has been at the helm, but he's been pretty quiet. So what actually has been going on behind the scene?
Yeah, actually, a lot of things have been going on behind the scene for Tenaga. Of course, Amir Hamzah was appointed in April 2019, and back then we had a different government than it is right now. So the initiatives, the recommendations that were made back then by the minister. So for Tenaga to be more transparent, more efficient, so it has started, and then coming to February 2020, the government changed. So some of us are thinking whether the transformation of Tenaga Nasional will continue. But of course, when Tenaga was just keeping mum, in the earlier stage, but now we have confirmation, and Amir Hamzah has told us that they have continued with the
kick-off.
Yeah, they have continued with the transformation, even though there has been a change in government. So they have separated the generation and the retail business altogether. And coming next month, starting October 1st, the Tenaga's generation company, Genco, will be operational as an entity, as a wholly owned subsidiary of Tenaga. So that is one aspect that he has done for Tenaga Nasional. And of course, the second thing is the pivot to renewable energy. They have completed their second large-scale solar power plant in Bukit Selambau, 144 days earlier than the due date. So that was a really good thing. And Tenaga's, because this is one of the effort to increase the fuel mix from renewable sources, and so they're continuing with that. They are committed to the government's aspiration or target to get 20% of the fuel mix in the country coming from renewable sources by 2025. So they are still going to do that. There has been no changes in the policy. So the transformation has continued at Tenaga.
When I met Amir, which was about 2 years ago, he was still in oil and gas, right? Now the thing about him that I find is that he is such a cool person, even back then, unfazed. But I think the question that people have in mind is that how has he been handling things at Tenaga during the pandemic?
Amir Hamzah has done quite well during the pandemic, because of course, during the pandemic, the industries and a lot of businesses are not allowed to operate. So of course, because of that, demand for electricity has gone down, especially from the industrial sector. But after that, it has come up little by little. It has been recovering since then. But of course, during in 2018 and 2019, before that, Tenaga Nasional has actually impaired some of their investments overseas. And this is because the investments were not paying off, so they have to recognize those losses and the value of your assets. So what Amir Hamzah did was, so from now on, they won't be investing as an equity investor anymore. Right? Of course, going back to the companies that they have impaired the value of the assets, now they are playing a bigger role. Of course, they are still just equity investors, but Amir Hamzah tells us that we want to have a bigger role in the running of these companies in Turkey and India. So that the process or the businesses over there can be refined, can be restructured. So that's one of the things that he has done in the international scene.
Very recently, we've seen a couple of big power players going towards renewable energy, right? We're talking about people like GE, people like Shell. GE, for instance, is dumping coal. So at what point is TNB 2.0 at now?
TNB is pivoting into renewables energy. Of course, it's still quite small at the moment. I think their generation capacity is about 1,000 megawatt now. So they are looking for another 700 to 900 megawatt, because that's their target, to have like around 1,700 megawatt of their electricity generated from renewables energy. So they are pivoting towards that. Of course, they are participating in large-scale solar plants. Bukit Selambau and Sepang have been completed and commissioned. So they are participating in LSS4. They are waiting for the government to announce the winner. And Amir says that if there's LSS5 and LSS6, they are going to continue participating.
They will go for it.
Yeah, they will, continue to grow their renewable energy fuel mix into their generation. But of course, at the same time, Tenaga Nasional as a GLC, it has the obligation of maintaining low-cost energy to the public, industrial and domestic consumers. So when it comes to power costs, the cost to generate power, they will always have to look at the cheapest cost. So of course, the existing power plants, those who are still running with coal, will continue to do so.
Okay.
Until the PPA ends, until their respective PPA ends.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Age Weekly at all good newsstands.